and I usually talk on this channel about books, lifestyle, fashion, and also sometimes Taylor Swift, but today I'm going to be talking about books and which of the Anne with an E characters would read which books. I'm very excited about this video. I have been rewatching Anne with an E. I'm about halfway through season 1. Season 2 and 3 are a little bit further away in my memory, so I'm not sure about some of the things that I will be saying about some of the characters that appear later on, but I still think it's going to be a good video. So these are the books that I think these characters would enjoy, or that you would enjoy if one of these characters is your favorite character, right? So let's just get into it. Let me start off with Anne. I think Anne would absolutely love The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. She is such a fan of tragical love stories, and this is such a tragical love story. There is a ton of sadness in this book, but there's also fun times. I really like the main character as well, which I think Anne will also like, and it's just the saddest of endings, and we all know that she loves a good sad ending. I think this is like perfectly dramatic enough for Anne, and it also has like the 1920s extravagance. I think that she would enjoy this very much. For Diana, I have picked out The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. It is also similarly to The Great Gatsby. It's about rich people, which I think Diana probably would also like, but there is also a beautiful love story in this one. I know that Diana is a hopeless romantic, and also the way that Diana reacted on the fact that Aunt Josephine is in love with a woman was really, not the best, I guess. She is definitely young and still has to learn things, which is why I think this book will come in helpful, because there is a lesbian love story in here. And I think that she would, that it would open her eyes a little bit and might make her understand a little bit more. So I think that's a very good recommendation for her. Also, I made a little reading vlog about The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, so if you want to know more about what I thought about this book, then you can watch that vlog up here. For Matthew, I suggest The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. This is one of my all-time favorite books. It is about a boy with autism who goes on this quest to find out what happened to the dog in the nighttime. It is basically just about how he sees the world and how he navigates it, and I interpret Matthew as a neurodivergent character, so I think that he would find some things in here that he might connect with and understand, and I think it would just be a very eye-opening read for him. And it is a good book, even if you're not neurodivergent. I highly suggest it to just basically anyone, but I think that Matthew especially would do some introspection and really like it. For Marilla, I suggest Following Your Needs by Anne-Marie MacDonald. This is my all-time favorite book. I seize every chance I get to talk about it because it is just amazing. It's a very chunky boy. It's about a family on PEI, I believe, or is it maybe Nova Scotia? It follows the family throughout about 100 years, and it is about family, about religion, about sexuality. It is about a ton of different things. I think that it would tug on Marilla's heartstrings, and that she would find it comforting, maybe. I'm not entirely sure why I picture Marilla reading this, but I just do. I think she would like this. For Gilbert, I suggest The Secret History. It's also one of my all-time favorite books. It's about a group of college students who murder someone. This happens on the very first page. You instantly know who was killed, who killed them, and when it happened, how it happened, but you don't know why. And Gilbert is very into academia. This is like the ultimate dark academia book, so I think that he would enjoy this very much. It is a page turner. It is like an intellectual book, If you've read this, you seem as if you know a lot, right? So I think that's something that he would enjoy, and just also it has a lot of Greek mythology in it as well. I think that he would enjoy that too. So I believe that this would be a good pick for Gilbert. For this next one, I don't have a hard copy, but for Ruby, I suggest that she reads Pride and Prejudice. Ruby is also, just like Anne and Diana, a hopeless romantic. She's always, thinking about boys and who she's in love with, things like that. And I think Pride and Prejudice would really be up her alley. She also is a little bit, she also has a little bit of prejudice towards Anne when she first meets her. She just doesn't really think that she's going to be a good friend, but then it turns out that they get along really well. So I think that's kind of like a little message that is also in Pride and Prejudice that she would probably relate to. I have to admit that I haven't actually read Pride and Prejudice, but I have seen the movie and I'm planning on reading it. I once started, but I stopped for some reason. So I should probably try that again soon. For Cole, I suggest The Song of Achilles. I think he would appreciate the way that this book is written. I think that he would also appreciate that there's a little gay romance in here. And he strikes me as someone who likes, just like Gilbert, Greek mythology and things like that. I'm not sure if he actually does, but because he's such an artsy person, I believe that he probably knows something about the Greek mythology or is at least interested in it. And also, as I mentioned before, the writing style in this is really good, and I believe that, he would just appreciate the way that certain things are described or expressed in this novel. Also, it has a little bit of action. I'm not sure if Cole is the kind of person who likes to read action-packed scenes. I know I don't really get over that, but, maybe he does like it. So I think this is a good one. A good runner-up, I feel, for Cole would be Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. It's a coming-of-age novel about two gay boys who fall in love, and, I read this book earlier in 2021 and I honestly don't really remember much. I think it could give him a sense of representation and comfort in that way. So both of these books, I think, would be a good fit for him. For Miss Stacy, I was thinking maybe Sherlock Holmes, any of the Sherlock Holmes books or stories, but then I thought, she is like a very modern woman. I think that she would probably enjoy Agatha Christie more, just because she is a woman, and all of the Poirot novels. I think that she would like a good mystery. I think that she would appreciate like all of the thinking that goes into a detective novel. And so I think either Sherlock Holmes or any of the Poirot novels would be a good fit. But especially the Poirot novels, because they were written by a woman, and it's just a plus, right? Isn't it? I think that Miss Stacy would think that is a plus. Now I'm getting to the characters that were a little bit harder for me, or that were the hardest. For Bash, I was like, what would he like to read? He's such a fun guy, a fun-loving guy. I think he probably likes something adventurous. So I decided to recommend to him The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. It is a super quick read, of course. I bet you have all read it, and if you haven't, why not? It is really good. I think he would really enjoy the thrill that these books give him. I have to admit, I don't really have a very solid reason, but I do think that he would like this. I don't really read a lot of adventurous books myself, so I don't have that many things that I would instantly think about. Maybe like Percy Jackson, he would probably like that as well, I feel. It's a little bit more adventurous and also more funny. So I guess the Percy Jackson series is also a good runner-up. For Josie, I had a lot of trouble as well, but then suddenly I was like, Gone Girl. It's gotta be Gone Girl, I feel like Josie, she's kind of mean sometimes, but I feel like she's just fed up with people. Kind of like how the protagonist in Gone Girl is. I forget her name. But yeah, I think that she would enjoy that. It is a thrilling read. I feel like she would kind of admire the main character, like whatever she's doing, just framing her husband for murder. I think that she would kind of be impressed about that. Yeah, I think that she would really enjoy Gone Girl. And last but not least, I would recommend that Kakwood reads The Book Thief by Marcus Suzanne. It is about a young girl during the Second World War who steals books, mostly books that are being burned or are banned, And I think that spirit is kind of like the spirit that Capuet has. She's very curious and intelligent. I feel like she really wants to get to know the world, and that is kind of like what the main character, I forget her name, in the book Thief also does. She just really wants to get all of that information, and it is such a lovely read. It is, I remember reading this book when I was, I guess, like 19 or something, and I bawled my eyes out. It is such a heartbreaking book, and I think that Capuet could appreciate just a little good cry in a book, you know? Yeah, I think she would. Have you read any of these books? Let me know in the comments below if you did, or what are some of your recommendations to these characters. I would love to know, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Then I know that you enjoyed it. And if you want to see more content like this, you can always subscribe. I upload videos every Wednesday, so I will see you next week. Bye!